Whether it be a new creative team, budget cuts, or just flat out something that everybody missed, there are unfortunately times in comic books that storylines get completely abandoned. It's super frustrating, and sometimes you'll go your whole life waiting for that closure that just isn't gonna come. Here are my top 10 worst, most egregious, frustrating, kick in the pants, abandoned storylines. Let me know what you think of the list. Let me know if you know one that I didn't put on here. And why don't you toss in something that you find to be frustrating with comics in general. I'm going to dive into the list. Before we do that, I'll let you know real quick, I am always buying collections. I forget to mention this, but yes, the whole thing with me is that I'm going to pay you better than anybody else really is going to. So if you want to make some good money on your stuff, hit me up. Okay, this is in no particular order, by the way. Black Panther had a brain aneurysm in the 2000s. And it figures this is the Black Panther storyline that I was reading at the time. I never read before. I barely ever read any after. So my first introduction was met with massive frustration. Well, he got a brain aneurysm. In fact, Casper Cole had to become Black Panther for a bit there. He eventually became White Tiger. 15, 20 issues later, Black Panther is totally just Black Panther again, and it was glossed over, not mentioned, and not explained. Very weird and frustrating, but honestly, some of these are even worse. The next one is Batwoman's marriage. In fact, DC has fumbled a couple Bat family-related marriages in the last decade, if you know what I'm talking about. Batman and Catwoman should have actually gotten married. Did you hear something? J.H. Williams wanted Batwoman to get married. Don't ask me why this particular plotline was denied. Maybe it was just the time, the fact that she is a lesbian. Maybe it would have happened now, but not then in 2011. I don't know. It definitely would have worked for the character, but maybe they just thought that once characters get married, they're boring? I don't know. Regardless, they denied it, and the creative team walked. So this storyline was unfortunately dropped like it's hot. Dang, man. Maybe one day, but I don't know. This one's pretty egregious. In Batman 691, it's totally hinted at that Batman either knew or had something to do with Dick Grayson's parents' death. Dick finds the USB drive indicating that he knows about it. That sounds really cool, right? Kind of sounds like a really great storyline that could almost turn into a whole memorable series on its own. No. Long since forgotten, and I don't know what happened there. Definitely doesn't seem like something I would have dropped, but I don't make the rules, editing does. Next is a Vision Scarlet Witch. So, Vision's got a secret, and he won't let the Scarlet Witch know. In fact, he even says that the truth would crush her. Well, what could that possible truth be? We don't know. Because Secret Wars came out, and it was a creative decision that did a nice clean sweep on everything, and this entire plot point was completely left behind. We're never going to know, and that's really annoying. Next is good old-fashioned Kevin Smith not finishing a series. This has actually happened before. I'm talking about the Daredevil one, though. He did not finish Daredevil to Target. Right after the Daredevil movie came out with Ben Affleck, this was supposed to be hot on the tails and just totally capitalized on the success of that, and it was great, and it was unfinished. He literally got one issue in, and that was it. A lot of people actually think it's a one-shot. It's not, man. We were supposed to get a follow-up there, and it just didn't happen. So Kevin Smith, if by the 0.00001% chance you're watching this video, I know you're probably one of the busiest guys in the entirety of all comic book-ness, but you got a couple stuff you got to finish. Next, this one hurts because I'm in love with the Tom King Batman. And nice and early on, you got a dialogue from Gotham Girl talking about how she eventually kills Batman and marries Duke Thomas. This is obviously a future scenario. Tom King's now off Batman, and that never came to be, never got discussed, and was just dropped like a bowling ball. Anyone else dying to know what the hell that was about? Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go Batman again. This is a very DC heavy list. DC, you got some stuff you gotta finish. This is All-Star Batman and Robin. This is probably one of the most famous ones on the list. Frank Miller, Jim Lee creation that was set to be 12 issues. We got 10. I actually like it. It's now more infamous than famous. It is kind of funny. Batman curses. He makes Dick Grayson eat a rat. It gets weird. They torture Green Lantern. It's awesome. I love it. And for the people that did like it, we are still waiting for those final 2 issues. Like, yeah, it kind of ended, but not really. The chance of us actually getting this, I think, is not likely. And people have been talking about this one for years. This one's even well known about. And I'm sure people mention this to Jim Lee and Frank Miller at conventions. And still, nothing's happened. So I don't think it's happening, guys. Next is Chase Stein. This is a Runaways character here. Totally is dead or near dying in the Runaways. But then, poof, we get the next volume and he's completely fine. Do we miss something here? Yes, you did. Mystery Recovery Land. Seemed like a really important part to the story, and oh well, okay, I guess we're just going to leave that one up to our imagination. Next one's really bad. And we're not going to get the closure because it's already came and went. Captain America's search for a completely MIA Falcon. Remember the storyline where Falcon was teamed up with an anti-Cap? Well, Captain America is hot on the trail, and he's fighting anti-Captain America, who eventually takes his own life before he can tell Captain America the whereabouts of Falcon. In the final pages, he's literally chasing a bird he thinks is Falcon, and he finds the discarded Falcon costume. And then we never found out what happened, and suddenly in the next run, Falcon is back without anything answered. You guys remember that one? Yeah, that sucked. I'm going to end it with probably the worst one here. This is decades in the making. So this is, I think, the oldest one on the list. I think it is. The Last Galactus story. It's a 10-part arc with only 9 being released. And that's because Epic Illustrated actually got canceled with 1 issue to go. How are you going to make the Last Galactus story and not give us the final issue? That's messed up, dude. Cliffhangers are the worst, but what's even worse is cliffhangers just shoved onto the rug and a new story packed on top. It makes us think that we're never going to find out what happened here on the bottom. And we just have to deal with it. Let it go, as they say. Well, I'm not letting go. I'm still frustrated. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you at the next video. Keep on hunting.
Make sure to come on down to Sentiment Depot's Antiques and Collectibles, located at 238 West Delaware Ave in Pennington, New Jersey. Find so many great books for just $1 and the lowest prices on key comics around. Enjoy a huge selection of graded comics priced up to 20% lower than current fair market value. We are open from Wednesday to Sunday, closed Monday, Tuesday. You got a collection you want to sell? Bring that too. Can't wait to see you there.